Hey yo, what is going on guys, Cash and Clean here, and for today's video I just wanted to talk about what they're gonna do for the future plans for Trove. If you guys didn't know, around the start of this year I saw something on the Trove calendar. I don't know if you guys keep up to date with those, but basically it gave like a list of things that they're gonna add for this entire year, like a little plan out, and I don't think they're gonna do everything on that list, and as far as I know it's not there anymore, but just from what I saw and just from like the recent updates that happened, I can kind of guess what's gonna happen pretty much. So I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about like the state of Trove, not like the actual state of Trove like how it's doing now, but just like my opinions on the overall updates that they're planning on doing, or if they plan on doing it. So if you guys didn't know, around the start of this year we had the Gunslinger rework. Now along with this, we're supposed to have like a little gardening update as well, like a little, it's just like a small little update. If you guys didn't know, Trove likes to do 2 big updates a year, and then they do like minor ones along the way as well. This Gunslinger one was one of them. It wasn't like a major update, it was just like a little tiny one. They were supposed to do something gardening related, but they never ended up doing that, and I'm actually kind of glad that that didn't end up happening, because there's really no point in adding more gardening things. We already have gardening 1.0 and we have gardening 2.0. That's already confusing enough if you're new to the game. If they want to rework gardening, I guess that's fine. They can do that some other time. But there's like other more important things that they can worry about apart from gardening. So I guess we'll see what ends up happening with that. I personally don't think they're going to do anything with gardening, so we don't really have to worry about that. But if they do, I guess, you know, I told you guys here first. And by the way, I would like to point out, sometime last year, Trove had like a little survey you could do. And in there, they talked about like who you think should get like a buff or a nerf, or I can't remember the exact question, but it was something like that. And then I talked about how Gunslinger should get a rework, because like, I don't know, his kit seemed kind of, it was like too laggy, it wasn't like consistent, like he could use a change. And then out of nowhere, like towards the end of the year, this was like middle of last year, then towards the end of that year, they actually announced that they're doing a rework for Gunslinger, so I kind of called it. And then the update just ended up being like a huge disappointment, so I don't know, Gunslinger's still pretty much the same character. But long story short, I have predicted it. I don't know if GameAgo's listening to my channel here, but I kind of doubt it. We'll see. Anyway, I would like to move on from that. So another thing I wanted to point out is the whole crystal gem system is still fairly new. So like, I feel like crystal is basically the highest tier we can get to as of right now. I don't know if they're gonna plan on doing anything higher in the future, like I don't know, diamond gear or whatever. I don't know. For now it can stay at crystal. Don't do hopefully they don't do anything else. But if you guys didn't know, our current modules for Geode are at stellar. So if you see where I'm going at here, another update that they planned on doing was adding Geode content. And I know a lot of you guys don't like the Geode caves. You probably don't really like delves, or even if you do like delves, maybe Geode is just not for you. I personally don't like Geode or delves. It just feels like I'm playing a different game at that point, but I guess it is in this game, so we have to do it. But they're gonna do an update with that, so I'm guessing that they're gonna add, you know, higher tiered modules so we can upgrade our gear a little bit more, so we can actually get crystal for that. Now I'm hoping they don't add more companions, because if you didn't know, trying to get a rare companion is insanely difficult. Like if you don't know, like if you know, you know, but if you're trying to get a rare companion, like basically, let me explain this. So there's bronze companion eggs, which, you know, they guarantee you a bronze or higher. There's silver, which guarantee you silver or higher, and then there's gold that gets you a guaranteed gold. Now companions are little like it's basically an ally but for Geode. So like you don't have your normal ally, you have like your Geode personal ally, and they do like their own thing. I'm saying like a lot, but and basically if they add more companions, it's gonna be a lot harder to grind, because there isn't really like a consistent way of farming these, because it's insanely difficult to even find a gold one, even a silver for that matter, the companion eggs. And these eggs are what hatch into those little ally things, so hopefully that gives you like a little perspective. Like the rarity of finding a gold egg, you have a better chance of winning the lottery than you do finding this golden egg. That's not like an exact comparison, but I'm just trying to paint you a picture of like how rare this thing actually is. So don't take that quote like literally, but just know that like it's extremely rare to even find one. But either way, even if you do find this gold companion egg, you have a chance of getting a duplicate, which is the worst thing you can possibly get. So if they manage to rework that system, that would make things a little bit easier to actually farming these eggs. But then if they do that, it's gonna be a little bit easy to actually farm companions, because if you didn't know, bronze companion eggs, they're pretty easy to farm. Not like super easy, you have to get kind of far into the caves, so if you're like super new, might be a little bit difficult. But for us endgame players, we can just speed run to the end, we can find an egg there, and then we can restart the run. And I don't know, if like they don't give duplicates, then we can easily get all of the companions pretty easily. So I don't know, they're gonna have to do some kind of reworking for that system, because I personally just don't like it. Or they can just leave it the same. I don't know what they plan on doing. I'm just putting this out there, but Who knows? And the other thing I wanted to mention is that our current resources for Geode kind of just stay in our inventory. I don't know. So those of you that played Trove like way back in the day, I'm sure you guys know that if you had Shapestone or other types of ore or Flux, like it would just stay in your inventory. It wasn't like actually, like you couldn't just gather it all in one spot. Like you can have 20 Shapestone in your inventory, like where your boxes should be. Like if that makes sense. And you can like store it in your club chest. You can still store stuff like that in your club chest, but it would just be like super cluttered and weird. But I'm pretty sure with this update for Geode that they plan on doing, this big update, I'm assuming is where they're gonna put this. They're gonna make a separate tab for Geode so you can have all these resources. You can actually have, I don't know, like 1 million of, I don't know, crystals, for example, instead of just like having it take up your entire inventory. Because at the moment, it's super annoying to farm Geode resources because you have to store all of that in like club chests, because it takes up so much space in your inventory. So hopefully they rework that system. And that kind of leads me to my next point, because they also wanted to do something with the storage space. So if they do an update with the storage spaces, maybe give us extra slots for more farming, give us more chest space for, I don't know, if, in case we ever need to store more things, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe an extra club spot, but I kind of doubt they're gonna do that one. But I don't know, extra storage space is always nice. Kind of cool to store things away. I can make a future video on that if you want to like see how I store my personal items. If you guys want to know like what's important, like what you should keep and what you shouldn't keep and stuff like that. But anyway, I can kind of go on forever talking about these things. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is permatorches. So if you didn't know, our current situation for an upgraded permatorch is Radiant, and we're currently at Crystal Gear. So I don't know what they're gonna do with this. We're probably gonna have to farm, I don't know, some type of Leviathan to get these torches. As far as the rarity, I have no clue how hard this is gonna be. Like farming normal torches like right now is kind of annoying. It takes like a while to get a permatorch. I'm sure most of you guys know how difficult it is. You can get your free one for getting 250 Levi's, but after that you're kind of on your own. I've personally met a couple people that have gone 3,000 Levi's without getting a permatorch, so hopefully you're not one of those people. Hopefully they actually make permatorches like easier to farm if we plan on going higher, or maybe we can upgrade like our regular torches and make those go to crystal or whatever they plan on doing. Because right now it's at Radiant, so I'm assuming it's gonna end up being crystal at some point, because that's where our gear's at right now. It would make a lot more sense if everything just matched together instead of things being different rarities, I guess. But that's just my take on it. Who knows if that's actually gonna happen. And yeah, the last thing I did want to talk about is a new class. Now, they've been doing this every year, it looks like. And if they keep up this trend, well, maybe not every year, but basically, if they do end up adding a new class, I'm kind of curious on what they're gonna do, because we have a punching character. We don't really have that many punching characters actually, so we might end up getting one of those. We already have a bunch of staff characters, so probably not going to be one of those, but if it is, then I guess that's kind of cool. Because Solarian is a bow character, so we already got one of those. Having a melee character I guess would be kind of cool. But if we look at our current trend, our latest character as of right now is Solarian, so that's a physical damage character. Then we had Bard, which is magic damage. So I don't know, if they're just gonna go back and forth like that, the next class might be magic damage. So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna end up adding a different weapon style, but if they do, maybe it's gonna be magic damage, who knows? But yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to say. That's all the main things that I caught for this current year. I don't know if they're gonna end up adding whatever I said in the next year, but stay on the lookout for whatever is about to drop with all this. We might end up getting all of this all in one update, maybe spread out in a couple updates. We might not get it at all. So I just wanted to inform you guys, or I just wanted to also hear your opinions on what you think about everything going on. And I don't even know what's going to happen with Trove, because if you think about it, they're adding so many things, and with like how the game works right now, with like how laggy it is, I don't know, like maybe at some point we're just gonna have so much content that we just can't open the game anymore. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with Trove. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I do want to say thank you all so much for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing, and I will talk to you all later.